let's talk a little bit about Aaron Nola. And you mentioned the 6+ ERA a season ago, and he can't possibly be this bad again. And if you listen to this show or the previous show that we did, the different iterations of it, you know where I've always stood on Aaron Nola. It's fine. It's good. It's okay. It could be better. You've tried to paint, I think, a more favorable picture. And I'm not saying that's not warranted. Like you see the value in Aaron Nola more than I think a lot of people do, frankly. I don't think he's going to have a 6+ ERA next year or this year. I actually want to start here. It's really weird when you look at his splits from a season ago. Like, we know that he was hurt and we know that it was a nightmare for him in the first half. But I just want to give you a little something here. Those first 9 games, in the first half prior to his injury, opponents hit 295 against him. They slugged over 500. They had basically a 360 on base percentage. It was a disaster. In the second half, his numbers are still, his high level numbers are still really bad. Like, he had a 5.84 ERA in the second half when he came back, as opposed to a 6.16 ERA in the first half. And the first half was 49 innings. The second half was 44. It's like the same sample size, and it's super unproductive, right? But when you look at it and you go a little bit deeper, opponents at 295 against him with a 356 on base percentage in the first half. Second half, they only hit 234 against him with a 288 on base percentage. Like, they did damage against him, but people weren't getting on base against him the way that they were in that first half. Like, his numbers, especially in September down the stretch, were much better. So I don't think that you can just look at this and say, oh, well, it's Aaron Nola. He's an established veteran. He's got to be better. It doesn't always work that way. It could quite frankly be just as bad. But I think that there are some numbers there at the end of last season that suggest that he might have found a better place, better footing. And then what we saw from him the other day, I thought was equally encouraging.
Yeah, and again, I guess that one's more. I don't put stock, like I said, don't put stock in even good stuff in spring training. But I guess that one you could sit there and say is a little bit more encouraging.
I think it's different. It's not about the line. It's about, hey, you're sniffing 94 in early March.
Yeah, it's two things. It's the 94 for sure, and then if you want to compare it, you sit there and saying you're going up against a Team Canada team. It's actually a pretty decent lineup. So it's not like you're facing a bunch of minor leaguers, right? Like, you faced a bunch of guys who are regulars in Major League Baseball for the most part in that lineup, and you went through them for 3 innings. So that was, that's fine. Look, who knows where Nola is? And Joseph Karmazin just put this up. I was about to just talk about this. He said, I think the expectation.
I would sign up for that.
Nola's between 3.5 and 4. I think it might even be a little bit higher than that. Like, if it's 4.2. And he's your number 4 starter now.
Well, I have a note here. I said I was going to do an over-under at the end of this conversation. 4.3 was my number. Yeah, so he got 3.5, and he goes 165 plus, 170 innings plus.
That's huge.
I'll take that in a moment, like in a heartbeat.
That's huge. No, but I think 4.2, 4.25 is probably about what I would have said. So you say 4.3, the over/under. I'll go slightly under. I think it's slightly under that. But for a number 4 starter, that's totally fine, because obviously we won't know what Wheeler is officially until he comes back, but there are encouraging signs. And if he is back and he's himself, that's awesome. We know what Christopher Sanchez is. We're going to talk about Jesus Luzardo a little bit later, but there's a lot to be excited about with him too. So Nola's your 4. If he's giving you a 4.25 ERA as your number 4 starter and giving you 170 innings, you're taking that and you're happy with it, and your team's better because of it.